It did not need to be that early.
All right, everybody. Little Zerhudge action. First, we're getting rid of Scott Israel, criminal Broward County Sheriff. Hashtag winning. Um, Remember the Russian lawyer they set up, Trump Jr. and all that crap in Trump Tower? They sent her over there, try to get him to colluding with Russia. Russian lawyer from Trump Tower meeting charged in money laundering case. We're gonna win so much. We're going to win so much. They're going to get tired of us. They're going to say, stop, you're winning too much. They're going to get tired of us winning. I need to bring that card inside, as I've been doing way more videos inside my bedroom than in the crypto cave lately, where I actually have that card. The little Donald Trump thing moving around. Love that card. A Russian lawyer and Fusion GPS associate who attended the infamous Trump Tower meeting has been charged with obstructing justice by making a misleading declaration in a separate money laundering case, according to the Washington Post. Natalia Vasilninskaya, we'll just go with Natalia on this one, a Trump-hating fan of the late John McCain, was initially denied entry into the U.S., remember the whole story? Only to be allowed into the country by former Attorney General Loretta Lynch under extraordinary circumstances, so she could represent Fusion GPS client Prevezon Holdings in a civil case brought by the U.S. Attorney's Office in where? Criminal Manhattan, again, a Democratic stronghold. Prevezon is owned by Russian and Israeli businessman Denis Katsev. I want, remember this thing with the Supreme Court? There's a unnamed company A. We're trying to force them to come to the U.S. and testify. They're saying no, it's against the law over in their country, so they're trying to fight it. The Supreme Court basically has ruled, no, we think you need to come over and talk, whatever. Just making me think here, is that the company? Here we think it's some company that's like, oh yeah, bring him in because it's going to prove Trump collusion. When maybe it's this effing company. Wrong, not Trump collusion. I'm just thinking out loud. Prevezon is owned by Russian and Israeli businessman Denis Katsev, who settled the case for $5.9 million in fines after he was busted in a $230 million embezzlement and money laundering scheme reportedly sanctioned by Russian officials, in which large sums of money were stolen from the Russian government and invested in New York real estate. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of, there's nothing you can't do out here in New York. Some of the missing funds were traced to Prevezon. The department had alleged in a civil complaint that a Russian criminal organization ran an elaborate tax refund scheme, stealing the identities of targeted companies and filing sham lawsuits to incur fake losses for refund purposes. Those involved made about $230 million in tax refunds, prosecutors said, and filtered the money through shell companies and eventually into Prevezon, a Cyprus-based real estate corporation. Prevezon, prosecutors said, laundered the funds into real estate, including by investing in high-end commercial property in luxury apartments in Manhattan, says the Washington Post. The alleged fraud was uncovered by attorneys hired by the victim firms to investigate, one of whom was deceased, Russian lawyer Sergei Magnitsky, who died in custody. Yeah, that happens. That's normal. Miss Valenskaya, what's her first name again? Let me go with her first name. Natalia. Natalia was also a central figure in the Trump Tower meeting arranged by Fusion GPS associate Rob Goldstone, who admits, quote, "It appeared to me to have been a bait and switch of somebody who appeared to be lobbying for what I now understand to be the Magnitsky Act," end quote, which sanctions Russian officials thought to be involved in the Magnitsky death. Of note, John McCain was a key force behind the Magnitsky Act. In 2010, I traveled to Washington and told Sergei Magnitsky's story to Senators Benjamin Cardin and John McCain. They were both shocked and appalled and proposed a new piece of legislation called the Sergei Magnitsky Rule of Law Accountability Act. This would seize assets and ban visas for those who killed Sergei, as well as other Russians involved in serious human rights abuses, says The Atlantic. Meanwhile, hours before Natalia attended the Trump Tower meeting to lobby Trump Jr. About the Magnitsky Act, she met with Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson. In late November of 2017, the Daily Caller's Chuck Ross reported that heavily redacted Fusion GPS bank records revealed DNC law firm Perkins Coie, who's again tied to the Clintons, paid Fusion a total of just over $1 million in 2016 for opposition research on then candidate Donald Trump, including the 34-page, as you know now, fake dossier. Ross also reported the law firm Baker Holstilter paid Fusion $500,000 between March and October 2016 on behalf of a company owned by Ketsev to research Bill Browder, a London banker who helped push through the Magnitsky Act. Why does it always seem to come back to Fusion GPS? So again, could you just imagine this whole hidden company A in the Supreme Court, this thing that Mueller's trying to get this, and we think, oh, well, they're after this company because it's going to prove, Trump collusion. Oh, could you imagine if this is what it is? Talk about all-time backfires on the deep state. Oh my God, this would be fantastic. But I don't know that that's going to be true. I'm just thinking out loud. Take care.